Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be super special. I'm going to discuss a document which Pearson has recently released, and it is super clear, super easy that how you have to analyze your scorecard now, how you have to figure out where you made mistakes and how you have to rectify the same. Now what we are going to look at in this video, what all Pearson has released, what are the implications and how you have to analyze your scorecard, how you have to see what mistakes you have made, where you need more work and what are things you need to take care of. So let's get started with the video. Before we start, if you like the videos, if you think the videos are helpful, do like, share and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel to grow and helps the video to reach the right audience. If you want to practice, we are working a lot. We have made a lot of changes to make our website, our practice portal, as close as possible to the actual test. You can register and practice on languageacademy.com.au, or you can download the LAPT exam practice app as well. If you need any help with classes on campus or online, you can contact us on one of these numbers and we will be with you, and we will give 100% to help you out, like we have helped more than 50,000 students till date. So let's get started with the video. This is the document which Pearson has released. What does the document includes? How you have to analyze your scorecard, what does each category of the skill profile mean, and what is the score contribution of each and every task. Let's discuss how you have to analyze your scorecard. Whenever you get your scorecard from Pearson, below that you have got a tab saying skills profile. When you click on skills profile, you'll have different categories and a bar along with that. Now I'll tell you that what each category includes means what all question types are included in each category of the skills profile. I'll share the screen as well so that you can take screenshot and it is clear for you. So the first category is open response speaking and writing. It includes describe image, read a lecture, summarize group discussion, respond to situation from speaking, then writing, summarize written text, writing essay, and listening, summarize spoken text. Next, reproducing spoken and written language. It includes read aloud, repeat sentence, and write from dictation. Extended writing includes writing, summarize written text, writing essay, and listening, summarize spoken text. Short writing just includes write from dictation. So let's say if your short writing is low, means you've gone wrong with your write from dictation. Next is your extended speaking. Describe image, read a lecture, summarize group discussion, and respond to a situation. All these questions are extremely important. They contribute towards your speaking a lot. Short speaking is just read aloud and repeat sentence. Now, multiple skills comprehension. As I've always said, multiple skills comprehension includes question types which will contribute in more than one module. Most of them contribute towards two modules, right? So repeat sentence, read a lecture, summarize group discussion from speaking, summarize written text from writing, listening, summarize spoken text, highlight correct summary, highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation. Single skill comprehension will include most of the question types which just contribute towards a single module. Answer short question, respond to a situation, reading drop down blanks, reading MCQ multiple answer, reading reorder paragraph, reading drag and drop blanks, and reading MCQ single answers. Listening MCQ multiple answers, listening fill in the blanks, listening MCQ single answers, and select missing words. So these are the different question types which fall under different skill profile category. Now, how do you figure out, how do you use these categories to figure out where you've gone wrong? Let's say your short writing is low. You know you have to work on write from dictation. Let's say your extended speaking is low. You need to work on either summarize group discussion, respond to situation, describe image, or read a lecture. Short speaking is low. You need to work on read aloud and repeat sentence. Extended writing is less. You have to make sure you work on summarize written text, summarize spoken text, and essay. Now, you'll not get to know what exact question type you're going wrong with, but he'll get a good idea that yes, these are the set of questions I should be working more on. I'll give you one more suggestion, right? Now let's say if your extended speaking is full, means you've done good in describe image, read a lecture, summarize group discussion, and respond to situation, but your open response speaking and writing is low. That means you have gone wrong in summarize written text, essay, and summarize spoken text. Because your extended speaking is high, that means you have done perfectly fine in describe image, read a lecture, summarize group discussion, and respond to situation. Therefore, you need to work on the remaining question types. Similarly, let's say if your short speaking is full, means you have done good in your read aloud and repeat sentence. But what else you need to work on? If you look at your reproducing spoken and written language, it includes read aloud, repeat sentence, and write from dictation. Because the short speaking is full, you have messed up your write from dictation. That is how you figure out that which question types you have to work on, what you have done correct, and what are things you need to be careful about. Now remember, for a question to be perfect, you don't really need your bar to be 100%. Even if it is around 80%, means you're doing fine. Because when I got 90 last time, one of my bars, I remember extended writing, I guess it was around 80, but I got 90 in all. So you don't really need your bar to be 100%. Anywhere around 80% should be okay. So this is one thing which Pearson has released in the document. I'll attach the link to that document in the description box in the comment as well, so that you can go through it and have a clear idea. Next thing which they have discussed or released is the score contribution, because recently we saw a lot of scorecards where students used to get 90 overall but 70 in writing or 65 in writing. So they have clearly told you or mentioned that overall score is not the average of 4 modules, it is calculated in a different way. So this table here, if you can see on your screen, this shows how much each question type contributes to different sections and overall score as well. For example, read aloud will be 9% of the speaking score, but just 4% of the overall score. Repeat sentence will be 7% of the overall score, but for listening module it will be 17% and speaking module it will be 16%. Similarly, if you look at describe image, it will contribute around 15% overall and 31% in speaking. That is why describe image is extremely important, right? So this is how each and every question type will contribute towards different modules and the overall score as well. You don't really need to worry much about how much a question type contributes towards the overall score. I would rather recommend you focus on question types which will give you more points in the respective modules, right? Because you have to make sure that you get your scores in each module as well, especially students who are aiming for a superior score. And you're thinking to apply for your permanent residency, the government requires you to score a particular score in each module. They don't really care much about overall scores. So you have to focus on the question types here, which I have marked, which are important and which will give you high scores in different question types. You can take a screenshot so that you can refer to it afterwards. What are the important question types? I would still say describe image, read a lecture, summarize group discussion from speaking, extremely important. Writing, summarize written text is important. Essay is extremely important. You can see the score contribution as well. From reading, both the reading blanks and reorders. From listening, summarize spoken text, highlight incorrect words, write from dictation, and listening, fill in the blanks as well. We cannot ignore these. So this is what you have to work on. This is what you have to practice, and make sure you use the analysis or the categories which I have told you that this task will impact this category on your skills profile. Use it to analyze the scorecard and see what mistakes you're making. Work on the same and go and smash your PTE test. So this is what I wanted to discuss in today's video. I hope the video was helpful. If it was, do like, share, and subscribe. If you want me to cover any other topic, let me know in the comment section. I'll try to make a video on that. If you ever get your scores watching my videos, do let me know. That is something I work for and that is something which will keep me going on. Now, what you should be doing is you should be going on languageacademy.com.au and you should start practicing. The AI portal is as close as possible. It is closely aligned to what happens in the Pearson test. So I'll highly recommend you taking the free mock test, for which you'll get scorecard, feedback, tutor feedback, analysis, and all what you need to improve and achieve your desired scores. Now that's it from this video. If the video was helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. If you want me to cover any other topic, do let me know in the comment section and I'll try my best to cover that topic as well. If you need any help, you can give us a call, send us a message on these numbers. We will be with you and we will give 100% to help you out, like we have helped more than 50,000 students till date. If you want to practice, you can go on languageacademy.com.au, which will give you accurate results, and I'll highly recommend you taking the free mock test, which will get you a scorecard, feedback, in-depth analysis, and areas that you should be working here you're doing good here, so that you are ready for the big day. You crack your PT test with ease. That's it. Now go and register on languageacademy.com.au or download the LAPT exam practice app. That's it from this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.